Aha.
Portals in a fountain? Not terribly practical.
It was a secret passage. Henriette and I would use it to...
Hide from your governess, which luckily she noted down in her diary, thus I knew where to await you.
Oh Ayrıca. Çok zeki adamsın.
Never mind that. Has the young lady agreed to help clean up the mess she's made?
She has. And stop treating me as if I were a child.
Would you prefer I treated you like the lying manipulator you are?
Sakin ol.
Regis, what happened to your famous manners?
Apologies. I forgot myself.
Birbirinize laf sokmayın şimdi. İşimiz var, gücümüz var. Hadi.
Done with this.
Gelmiyor musun? Hah.
Nice place.
Isn't it? Offers a lovely view of the valley. On a clear day, you can see the outlines of done time.
Geldi hatun.
Is it, though? A ruin like any other, I think.
So sensitive, so aware. Honestly, what did Declaf ever see in you?
Perhaps he'll tell you himself.
Let's get ready.
Gergin misin diyecektim. Gene kaydı.
Moment now.
Ama çok da gergin gibi görünmüyor zaten. Boş ver. Vampiro senin kokunu her türlü alır zaten. Yani duvarın arkasına falan geçmene gerek yok bence. Hani sürpriz falan tarzı şeyleri yiyeceğini pek düşünmüyorum onun. Geldi. Geliyor gelmekte olan arkadaşlar. Aha.
Sienna, I have a question I must ask you. Did you truly feign it all? That which bound us was a ruse?
Detlef, it's not that simple.
Oh no, it's very simple. You either deceived me or not. In forgiving you, I grieve. For now, we must part.
Öldürme.
What? But how?
Uh-oh.
The ribbon. Ha! Seems I've been fooled again. She will pay for this sooner or later. She will pay. You never should have meddled with her.
Oh shit. Benim ne suçum var be? Regis? Oha! Atla abi. Atla. Yaktım çırını senin ya.
Any of it.
Yok abi, elini istiyormuş ya burada.
Gods, start praying now.
Şimdi nereden çıkacak derken buradan çıktı. Hayır, kanda kaldım. Ölmeyeyim, ne olur ölmeyeyim. Güçlerini toplayacak şimdi. Neredesin? Tepemde. Şurada. Of, aldı, bariyerimi aldı. Güçlerini toplamasın bari. Kuşlarını topluyor. Topla kuşlarını. Topla. Topla abi kuşlarını sen. Sen topla kuşlarını, bak nasıl canını yakacağım senin. Bak nasıl canını yakacağım senin, bak. Bak gör. Kestim kanatlarını. Gitti kanatlar. Alacağım canını, alacağım. Eredin bir şey değildik ya. Eredin çıtır çerezdi. Eredin hiçbir şey değildi. Üf.
Stop me. Prepare to die, Witcher! What now?
Ay. Uf. Uf, dur 2 dakika. 2 dakika dur. 2 dakika dur, koyan basacağım. 2 dakika dur, koyan basacağım. Delirdi. Delirdi. Can top. Tamam, bu da okey. Başka var mı bunlardan? Hadi. Evet. Aa, bir şeyler oluyor. Bir şeyler oluyor. Bir şeyler oluyor. Allah'ım. Bir vuruşluk canın kaldı lan. Yes. Ayrıca yaşıyorsun. Gözünü sevdiğimin kalk. Kusura bakma arkadaşını kestim. Aa ölmeyecek galiba.
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist.
Yaşatmayacaksın onu değil mi? Bak onu yaşatırsan hakkımı helal etmem ha. Çok ciddi söylüyorum. Aha. Yasa sonra. Tarih atölyesi mi?
My, what a smashing ensemble. You wear it well.
Shut up. I look like a twit.
The kaftan is sewn of the best fabrics available, and according to the best tailoring practices. But one must have a modicum of taste to appreciate this. Even the most exquisite robes cover only deficiencies in beauty, never in refinement.
Zevk konusunu açmayalım abi.
Bicker about taste. Don't like to. It's neither interesting nor productive.
This particular Witcher has an inborn intolerance for formal occasions. Yet he's to attend just such an event.
Okudum.
I expect
Masal diyarındaki her şeyi okudum. Kitaptaki.
So try not to take things personally, Master Taylor. Rather pity him. For in truth, stage fright overwhelms him. He trembles at the thought that he has no notion how to behave in the presence of Her Grace's Majesty.
As well he should. All that being as it may, Toussaint's highest honor, the Order of Vitis Vinifera, demands appropriate attire. The Duchess cannot be expected.
Abi çok kötü ya üstündeki. Kayran hoş geldin.
Protocol places enormous emphasis on form, virtuous tradition, etiquette.
Ay, hiç güzel değil.
Tradition which values appearances ahead of all else, which calls for lordly, glistening triviality and misplaced generosity.
Bana bir şeyi hatırlatıyor.
Ceremonies, medals honoring virtues, just keeps coming up.
I've had no reprieve either, and I keep thinking of the last great virtue, compassion. It's the one piece of the puzzle that never seemed to fit.
Mean you suddenly believe the five virtues theory, after all we've revealed?
It's not a question of belief, superstition, or old wives' tales. It's a conclusion derived through exercising pure logic. Siana planned everything in advance. Had we not stopped
Adama
her,
tayt
surely
giydirdiler
she
harbiden.
would be a victim. One the gossips would have associated with a lack of compassion.
Her plans don't matter now. Can't act on them. Ask the messenger who delivered my invitation to the ceremony. Siana's in the palace. Courtiers pressured the Duchess to lock her in a tower.
Do you care not a whit who else was in her black book? We've some time before the ceremony. We could still chat with that boot-cleaning urchin. He was the one to pass the victims' names to Detlef. Perhaps we missed something.
Orada buluşuyor. Daha fazla araştırmanın anlamı yok. Ayakkabı boyacısıyla konuşmalı mıyız acaba? Evet, bence konuşmalıyız.
All in all, why not check up on that? We'll go together, assuming we're done here.
I am done, yes. It lies in your hands now to see if you are able to present my handiwork at the ceremony with the dignity it is due. Or if you will first destroy it, crawling about the city's underbelly.
Laf mı soktun şimdi?
Promise to be careful.
İşim benim bu adam. Bu benim işim.
Oh, it's the swordsman. Good to see you. Here for a spiffing? Dirty boots are a stain on professional dignity, you know. Step on up.
Need to ask you something.
Yet again? Go on then. I'm a proponent of free speech and I will gladly tell you all I know. But why not get your boots shanked while we jabber?
Sana bir ton para verdik çocuk.
Guess they could use a spit and polish.
Then I shall take advantage as well. A friend of mine used to say boots should be as clean as the soles that wear them.
Clean boots, clean soles. A fine flow.
Ayakkabıları gördünüz mü Geralt'ın? Götürdüğü şu mektuplar var ya.
Coat. You passed him some letters, remember?
Why, of course. I'm young, got a mind like a steel trap, but...
If you're about to tell me this information will cost me, forget it.
Unut o işi. Aynen öyle. Sana bir ton para verdim.
How'd you get those letters?
Beggars brought them.
Daha önce neden söylemedin?
Why didn't you tell us this before, when we first talked?
You didn't ask about beggars now, did you?
Velet. Ne dilencileri onlar?
Beggars. Tell us more about them. How many were there?
Why, 4. One for each letter.
Just 4? Sure you didn't get a 5th?
I can't count, you know.
Remember anything else? These beggars have anything in common?
What? Come now. Each was different. Some had mismatched boots, others had no boots at all. Oh, I know! They all had no home!
Kid, my patience is starting to run a little thin. Now think hard.
Mektupları nereden
They
almışlar?
get the letters. They pick them up, get them from someone?
I don't know. They'd come, hand me a letter, and walk away. I asked no questions.
Geralt, allow me to ask a question. Listen, lad. I'll be glad to mix another batch of that bootshine for you. But you must focus now and tell us all you know. Where can we find the beggars?
Well, at the shelter, most like.
Where's that?
Everyone knows. It's just round the corner. Up those stairs, then right.
Merdivenden çıkınca sağda.
For your trouble. We must visit the shelter. Look around inside.
Barınağı bu.
Buenis dira, wenches adira.
You've to move your
Burası.
camp
Değil.
elsewhere.
Nereden gireceğiz?
This is an ancient district.
Buradan. Hepinizi keseceğim oğlum.
You want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now. Gentlemen, calm, please. Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a rank refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves?
Sen misin düzgün?
Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
Her yer benim oğlum. Sizin mahalleniz olsa ne olacak?
Sight, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
Ama kılıçlarım yok. Kılıçlarım olmadan çok şey yapamıyorum ben. Ama ikiye tek hep böyle. Hep böyle ikiye tek ama. İşte böyle olunca içimden geçiyorlar benim. Yok abi ben dayak yerim yani. Yapamıyorum böyle olunca. Şuraya bak, ikisi birden dövüyor. Aa, ben bir tanesini yıktım, o bir tanemiz yıktı. Neyse, birini dövdük. Ama bir işe yaramadı
Are
galiba.
you well, my friend?
What happened?
Well, I saw your
Bir
opponent.
tanemiz yıktı.
So I took the means of jumping in. They shan't bother us anymore. We can now have a calm conversation with the proprietor.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful.
Bana değil ya, Ricas'a teşekkür ederim.
What do they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere were we to have somewhere to go. But you've come with a problem, have you? My turn to aid you.
Evet. Bilgi edinmem gerekiyor.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the boot black in Rue de Garl.
The boot black. A feisty lad. I know him.
Any
Tam bir eşek sıpası o çocuk.
wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
Tamam. Bekleyelim.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold. And we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the boot black. I know this.
Toprağınız hoş geldin.
Gentlemen means. Go on, speak up. Romain?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romain. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the boot black. And Freshy, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
Mektubun bir anlamı kalmadı artık.
I need the letter. It's very important. It's no use to you anymore.
But I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was free.
Korkunç bir kadındı derken.
To heed folk who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right, take it. I didn't want to see the boot black anyways. It's always muddy there.
Beşinci kurbanı ortaya çıkaran mektup. Kimmiş beşinci mektup? Kurban? Beşinci.
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duchessa. It seems we underestimated Siana rather grossly.
Aha.
Judging by this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Muamma açıklığa kavuştu mu?
Puzzle complete now.
Alas, the matter ceased to be a tantalizing brain teaser and has turned in.
Galamir hoş geldin.
We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint's ruler. We've proof of a coup d'etat.
Son kurban düşes.
Duchess was to be Detloff's last victim. Sienna planned it from the start.
Indeed, the logical conclusion, Geralt.
Four seemingly random
Sienna'ya
victims.
bak da.
The virtue's their only link, enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victim's links to Sienna, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons.
Acaba öldürdü mü ya? Aynı sarayda değiller mi şu an?
For her sins. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions, ample proof of a lack of compassion.
Why would Sienna murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, yes, and yes. All seem likely, and none are mutually exclusive. But if you'd like to know for certain, you could always ask her yourself.
İyi bir fikir midir? Gerekçesini öğrenmeyi çok isterim.
Love to learn her motives.
Praiseworthy, I suppose. Sometimes one should stare evil in the face.
Seems a bit strong, no?
She used my friend as her tool for killing. I believe I've every right to condemn her, but I support your lust for the truth. Some philosophers think empirical examination the sole path to knowledge. I believe you mentioned the Duchess keeps Sienna locked up.
Courtiers were insisting on a harsher punishment. Much harsher. Think Anna Henrietta had to protect her sister from a lynch mob as much as she wanted to protect her subjects from a criminal. One way or another, she's locked away in a secluded wing of the palace, awaiting trial before a court of law. I'd need to get past some guards to see her.
Gelecek misin diye soralım. Gelmez muhtemelen.
I shall await you at Mare la Chaise-Longue. I'll not risk entering the palace after Detloff and his minions rampage. Besides, I vastly prefer the company of a simple mug of mandrake brew to that of the Duchess's vile sister.
So, said straight up, it means you're going off to get drunk because you hate Sienna.
I've never been fond of categorical statements of that kind, but I admit I could not vouch for my behavior in her presence.
Aynen o gelmesin ya.
Causes death in the end, and now this, atop all that, no, Geralt. I will not go with you. I will await you at the cell.
Ben giderim. Bakalım Sienna'nın mevzusu neymiş. Ne yapayım bu saatten sonra kullanılabilir puanı? Atım? Atım? Nerede? Yukarıda. Babamın sarayı gibi girmiyor muyum arkadaşlar? Yemin ederim babamın sarayıymış gibi girdim. Nereden çıkacağım? Buradan değil herhalde. Çekil muhafız.
Halt!
Çekil.
Need to see Sienna, urgently.
In the matter of?
Konuşmak istiyorum, bu kadar basit.
Want to talk to her. It's important.
Want to talk? Go see your gran at tea time. Not one locked up on the Duchess's orders. No doing without special permission. Period.
Found some information important to her case. Need an explanation, urgently.
Ah, fine then. You're that witcher who solved the murders.
Evet, tanımıyor musun beni? Hayatınızı kurtardım. Hepinizin hayatını ben kurtardım.
Promise to be...
Bana borçlusun. Çekil.
The witcher will speak with the inmate. You can take a momentary break.
As long as it's truly but a moment. Highly irregular, this.
Sienna.
Have you come to see how I fare? I'm fine, thank you. Artorius' ribbon worked wonders. It's a shame they took it from me.
I know who the fifth victim was supposed to be.
Unless you're simply a compulsive snoop. I'm in prison. Dedloff is dead. Could you not just drop it?
Edemiyorum.
Stop pretending you couldn't care less. I know it's an act, and it's really starting to wear. Why do you want to kill her?
For such an accomplished investigator to ask about the obvious? Come now, Geralt. Why do you think?
Çünkü sana sırt çevirip seni unut.
Because she turned her back on you, then banished all memory of you?
Bravo, Geralt. Yet another riddle solved, and your sick curiosity sated. Well, what now? Off to share your discovery with Anna Henrietta? Oh, she's no longer in danger, true. But she very well might add a little something to your reward.
Definitely gonna tell her. Not necessarily for the coin, though.
Then why do it at all?
She ought to know. If only 'cause you'll probably try to kill her again if she ever lets you out.
Aynen öyle.
I probably will.
Hiç affetmeyi düşündün mü?
Perhaps, just for a second, you could stop dwelling on all the wrongs folk have done you and forgive her.
Why should I?
For old time's sake. You loved each other once.
Please. I don't know who fed you that rubbish, but...
Read your governess's diary. You played together, were inseparable. Henriette'd get you into trouble sometimes, sure. But there were also times she stood up for you. When you had nightmares, only she could calm you. Time eats away at memories, distorts them. Sometimes we only remember the good. Sometimes only the bad.
If she loved me so, why did she wash her hands off me? Forget me, hmm?
O zamanlar küçüktü çünkü.
Sienna, you were exiled when she was how old? 12? 13? She was a child. What was she supposed to do? Rebel? Organize a coup? Steal your father's seal and forge a pardon? She was powerless. Wiped you from her memory not because she didn't care, but because your departure was traumatic for her. She forgot because that was the only way she could handle the pain.
Ugh. You meant what you said in the Land of a Thousand Fables. You really want a happy ending to this story, don't you? Ah, with all of us living happily ever after.
Evet.
Go, Witcher, or they'll give your medal to another. And that would be a shame.
Farewell, Sienna.
Kız özür dile ablandan, barışın, öpüşüp kardeşsiniz siz ya.
Commander de la Tour would like to see you. Shall we go at once?
Görüşürüz Napaz. Tamam. Gidelim.
Let's go. Want to see him too.
Ya söylemesek mi acaba bence?
Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Başlayabiliriz.
All right.
Söylemeyeceğim abi.
Start.
Very well. But you must behave. Less like a hired thug, and more like a man deserving of the duchy's highest honor. In fact, you'd do best to maintain a dignified silence throughout. Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. The Duchess awaits. In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse, the whole place went up in flames.
I shall dispatch a palace guardsman to examine the site of the blaze. If things are, as you say, fitting compensation shall be paid from the ducal treasury.
Thank you, your enlightened highness.
Bu kadınla ilk tanıştığımızda giydiği kıyafet değil mi ya?
Geralt of Rivia has
Eti
arrived.
yine buruşuk.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders, as the ruler of this dominion, this duty is dearest to my heart. For now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Tuson's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of the beast of Beauclair, step forth.
Hadi bakalım.
We bestow the distinction upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May this symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair.
Tamam, sen içtin, bize yok mu? Bu mu yani?
More familiar terms now. I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small
200.
surprise
Ha, tecrübe puanıymış o bende.
I give you
5000
1,000
kron.
barrels of Sonreal, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
Büyük onur duydum.
Feels like a second distinction. I'm honored. Thank you.
I trust you shall make good use of it. In a moment I shall speak to Siana. Will you assist me?
Ederim.
You returned my sister to me, yet you also showed me her horrendous deeds. As head of state, I must judge her fairly, but she is my sister. Thus my heart bleeds for her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
Silviana. Heyecanlı.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
Kes kalmamı istedi.
The Duchess requested I be present.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
Haydi bakalım. Siyan'ın işlediği suçlar büyüktü ancak bunların da kendince gerekçeleri vardı. Siyan'ı açıkça suçludur. Önemli olan bu. Üf, Siyan'ı ateşe atalım mı? Yok yok. Siyan'ayla çok güzel şeyler yaşadık. O yüzden suçlayamayacağım.
Bitterness consumes Siana. She had cause to resent many of the court of Beauclair. I know her reasons, understand them even. But I can't condone the actions she chose to take.
What is he talking about, Siana?
You know exactly what. I was forcibly exiled, remember? To your benefit. You knew well the throne would then be yours, though I was the elder. The ministers I can understand. They'd hated me since I was a child, thought me a poor prospect for the wife of a duke. I even understand our parents. I'd always sensed the problem. They simply feared me, for I dared to be free. That fabricated curse, it fell into their laps. A gift from above that brought relief. But you... Your dagger hurt most. You were my Henrietta, damn it. My darling little sister. Now do you understand, Witcher? She betrayed me.
O zamanlar ikiniz de çocuktunuz. Senden nefret edenleri anladığını söylüyorsun. Peki neden öldürdün? O zamanlar ikiniz de çocuktunuz ama.
You were children then. You and your sister both had no control over what happened.
You're wrong, Witcher. She had control. Remember, dear sister, the day they banished me from the palace. Of course, I'd had the idea to pelt the Nilfgaardian envoy with fish bladders, which we filled with rancid suet on a lark, and which you set afire at the last to impress me, I imagine. And I admit, you did. Hit him right in his hideous bald patch. Never laughed so hard in my life. But when it came time to find the culprit, you said not a word. I took all the blame and all the punishment.
Kardeşimiz de az değilmiş ha.
It's true. I did not stand up for you. I was too afraid.
The council was unanimous. They listed all my offenses. My flights from the palace, supposed acts of cruelty, inappropriate friendships. They cast me out, but you, the only one to understand me, you cowered in a corner, lifted not a finger to help. Not before, not after. You never tried to find me.
That's not true. I searched for you. Sent out knights, gathered tidings from without. You did not wish to be found. Since the day you vanished, I have lived with the knowledge that I failed you. I'm sorry, dear sister. Can you forgive me?
Aa. Gıdıkladı mı onu? Ne yaptı? Ha? Ne şöyle ya? Barışın. Kardeşsiniz siz ya. Güzel güzel paylaşın şimdi tahtı. Koskoca saray canım. İkinize de yeter.
All in all, best part of the whole ceremony, it was short.
Perhaps for you, as you ducked out early. The others are probably just getting started. The drunkenness never ends in this quaint realm.
Not so fond of Toussaint after all, are we?
Ah, this place is like a strong wine, Geralt. Good in small sips.
Sonra?
My personal brew. Not too strong.
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diabolus variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavor profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Cüneyt hoş geldin.
All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
Hadi gidelim.
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
Niye şimdi adam otu toplamaya gidiyoruz?
This moonlight.
Maske ve eldiven takalım tabii ki. Nerede? Benim görev eşyalarım. Bunlar ne ya? Ha. Adam otu toplama eldivenleri. Bir de adam otu toplama maskesi nerede? Ha, şurada. Taktık mı suratımıza? Taktık.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus twins?
Ha, şu tarafta. Burada bir yerde adam otu toplayacağız.
Oh, how anything can look interesting when properly lit.
Neyi yağmalıyor o? Orada ne var ki yağma? Adam otu. Aha. Al. Başka? Şurada da var. Gimigiz, topladım. Neredesin? Yanlış taraftasın.
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down.
Nereye gitti bu kan emici harbiden? Efsun gereken ricası bu. Aha. Nereye gitti bu adam harbiden?
Regis! Where'd you go?
Vurduksa mı? Ah. Ben de alacaktım.
Those Bruxay, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires.
Serhat, hoş geldin.
Trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or...
Won't let it go, will they?
They will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind.
O zaman bas git buralardan.
That is why
Vampirsin
I
oğlum
must
sen.
leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink.
Hadi benim artık eve gitmem lazım.
Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning. Then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home. On the nightstand.
Vay. Evime hediye mi bıraktın?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over?
Evet, kılıçlarımı duvara asıp babu diyeceğim abi. Henüz karar vermedim.
Don't really know yet. Might find the life of a hard-working vintner too tempting one day. Or maybe I'll just stick to the path, go on roaming, staring up at the stars after laying my bedroll at the roadside.
Ah, roadsides, bedrolls, and the sky above. I sense some poetry coming on. Which, of course, brings to mind Dandelion.
Ah, Dandelion ya. Dandelion ne yapıyor acaba?
I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
Hatırlamıyorum.
Not. We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, the cellar's too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed
Oldu bir
him.
şeyler işte.
Sure wasn't easy, though.
Nereye gideceksin?
What about you? Any idea where you'll go?
Distance is of the essence. I thought I might venture south.
Nilfgaard?
Why ever not? The Nilfgaardians are a modern society. None there believe in vampires anymore. This fact alone could be very useful to one wishing to remain incognito.
Interesting point of view. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do.
Kesinlikle. Ve bir DLC'nin de hatta komple Witcher 3'ün sonuna gelmiş olduk. Arkadaşlar izlemiş olduğunuz için çok teşekkür ediyorum. Eğer hala kanala abone olmadıysanız abone olmayı ve bildirimleri açmayı unutmayın ki serilerin devamları size bildirim olarak gelebilsin. Ayrıca oyun hoşunuza gittiyse, video hoşunuza gittiyse, komple tamamı hoşunuza gittiyse alırım bir like. Hoşçakalın.